Hello, gentle viewers. This is Avindian, welcoming you to a new episode of Out of the Park Baseball 18. Now, the more observant viewers among you will remember, wait a minute. Weren't you just starting 1945 at the end of the last episode? Well, right before I finished recording the previous episode, the power went out. And so the entire last season is now gone from memory, which, given that we won 68 and 86, might be a good thing. But a couple of key things that are worth mentioning. Let's look at our complete transactions log. Let's see here. When did I make the trade? We made one very big trade. I think it was in June. Yes, there we go. Bruce Campbell, who was really bad last season for us, we traded him and a shortstop to get the Dick Atkins, who was our starting second baseman for the last part of the year, and most importantly, Robert Swanson, a pretty damn good starting pitcher. This is something we desperately needed, and so trading Campbell was totally worth it. But let's look and see what else we've learned, and then we'll take a quick look at our team, see how we did, and then proceed from there. We'll need to get a new bench coach. Oh, wow, they slashed my budget. And they gave me a one-year deal. So this is a make-or-break season. I've got a feeling I'll probably get fired if I don't. Or at least I won't renew my contract. But let's look at what went well and what didn't go well. Al McLean and Clyde Reed both had pretty solid seasons. They both gave me a lot of innings, a fair number of strikeouts, and they kept us up well. Bob Feller is starting to decline, and this is the biggest problem. He walked more people than he struck out. His control suggests this might be the rule rather than the future, but it's really important for us to monitor him. If we are going to trade Bob Feller, and I never thought I would say those words a season ago, even 2 seasons ago, definitely, we need to strike when the iron is hot. He's not sub-replacement level yet, but he's getting there. He'd be an awesome reliever. Maybe that's something to consider. Offensively, what happened to our team? You killed my pitching and batting views? Oh my god, stupid freaking crap. Really? I gotta go reset this up again. This actually wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to show you guys, because it'll help you understand how I make my judgments. Alright. So if we want batters, first of all, don't care about the tag controls. I do care about position, don't care about uniform number. We'll use short names to save on some space. Status info is kind of useful because it tells you if a player is hot, cold, or injured, but other than that. Team TXN? I don't even know what that is. It's not that important to us. We need to know what hands they bat and throw with. This is all we really need here. There's a lot of information here that wasn't there before. I like it. So I always do the stats first. Yes, all of these. As I talked about at length in my stats video, RBI are meaningless. I generally don't include them. Walks and walk percentage are good. Intentional walks. How often they get hit. Strikeout percentage. Grounding and double plays. Extra base hits. Gotta get our slash on. All of these. BABIP is now... I've wanted this for so long. I've wanted BABIP for hitters in the batting stats column, and now it's a thing. It's beautiful. WAR, stolen bases, and how often you're caught. And we'll add these two as well. Okay, there's a lot of information here, and it's so cluttered I can't actually see it. Because you're adding pitching stats, too. What the shit? Clear. Why would I care? Okay. Perfect. I'm so excited. I don't know if they just recently added that. Like, maybe it was like a patch to the game or something. I do not remember them having BABIP for hitters in the stats feed, but it's so good. Right. Okay. Now I'll quickly set one up for fielding and pitching stats. I gotta do for the ratings too, though, don't I? I know this isn't the most thrilling thing, but I think maybe it'll help you understand how I set up my view so you can set up your own. While we're here, let's actually talk about what went well and what didn't go well last season. Hank Sauer was bloody amazing. First season cracking 30 homers. Hit almost 300. Yes. All the yes. And he played amazing center field defense. I know he's kind of a dick and the other people on the team don't like him. But I would never get rid of him. Ever. He's good at everything. I heart Hank Sauer. Lou Boudreaux even stepped up a little bit. Hitting for a little more power than we're used to seeing from him. Double-digit homers. And also playing pretty fine third base. Our rookie, George Wilson, didn't produce as much with the bat as we might like. His contact was fairly low. But he drew walks, and he hit homers. Why are you unhappy? You think you could do better? You could. And you really didn't like the team's record, which is fair enough. And you played exceptional shortstop, even though you had 30 errors. Then things look kind of bad. McQuinn turned in a fairly decent season. He had a bit of a bounce back. I benched Siebert toward the end of last season. Bartell was hurt, and Bartell's pretty much defense either. Adkins had a pretty good end of the season. Looks like he'll be back next season for sure. We had Bauza lead off, and he did score over 100 runs and lead the league in doubles. But I think his defense was pretty... Oh, God, his defense was awful. Yeah, we need to make some changes for sure. Let's start... Oh, I need to finish setting up my views. This is the kind of thing that if I was really, really good at this, I would just edit it out and show you the results. But it shouldn't take too long. By the way, select all, please. This is all very good to have. If I can fit everything on the screen and you can see it, I'll probably just leave this instead of having two different views, which I used to have in the past. And I want fielding a primary position. Yeah, there's literally no reason to ever have a different screen. So we'll save you as batting ratings. And just to save some time, I'm not going to do my normal fielding stats, a fielding ratings view. I think it's easier to actually just look at the stats on the individual screens. I will do my pitching setups, though. So, customize. Nuke the batting ratings. Add pitching ratings. So you always gotta have the basics. I'm going to ignore the platoon stuff because I can look that up pretty easily. I want to know their velocity, their stamina. Can I fit all the different pitch types on this screen so I don't have to have two different screens for this? By the way, technically no one should be having a splitter in the 1940s, unless that's just what they're calling a spitball. So for those of you that don't know, back in the day, as the kids say, there used to be something called a spitball, where the pitcher would literally spit on the baseball. And because reasons, which aren't super clear to me, at least they don't seem that clear to me, what happens is the physics of the baseball changes slightly because of the spit, because one part is wet. The ball tumbles in an unexpected way. And it was very common for a while in baseball. By 1945, the spit ball should be gone. But, well, except for a few people that allegedly used it. Like, Gaylord Perry. And someone asked, have you ever put a foreign substance on a baseball? And at the end of his career, he said, well, no, because Vaseline's made in America. For those of you who aren't American, which I imagine isn't many of you since it's a baseball series, but Vaseline is petroleum jelly. Used for lots of things, including apparently models use it to make their teeth look shiny. Which, you know, whatever, do you, whatever makes you happy. Want wins and losses, saves and save percentages, innings pitched, very important. What else do we need to know? Runs and earned runs, walks, intentional walks, strikeouts. Your BABIP, your WHIP. ERA. I actually would like to know their slash stats. No, that's actually not that useful for a pitcher. You can derive all of that from other stuff. Definitely get me my rate stats. Where's K per walk? Yeah. The frick is IR? I have no idea. Quality starts, please. Pitches per game, run support per game. Ground out percentage, ERA plus, FIP, FIA, FIP minus, WARP, and WPA, and more. I don't even know what IRS is. Except for, you know, the Internal Revenue Service. And then let's save you as pitching stats. And so there you have it. We've rebuilt our stats. And as I said in the episode that died, I'm going to do a little bit better job of letting the episodes finish when it seems organic for them to finish. So in this episode, for example, we'll go through the offseason and the season to come. It always feels weird with OOTP putting specific time frames on it. For other games that are more episodic, like Stellaris, it makes sense. Or for a game where too much information actually kind of hides the ball a little bit. But anyway, let us proceed by getting through... Oh, free agency. Yes. Someone had better not give him 17 grand. He ain't remotely worth it, mate. He ain't remotely worth it. Neither is Jim Mundo for that matter. Really good third baseman, though. But yeah. There are no free agents that are interesting. Which is a shame, but meh. And it still keeps all of these for things that you desperately care about. We could use a prankster on the team, but nah. Okay, will anyone offer me something for Dick Bartel? Because I'm not paying a player that much money to not hit. I could get Ray Sanders. I've heard worse ideas. I've heard much worse ideas. A Sanders is on my radar. Who else do we have? Strick Schaffner, nope. James Click, nope. I'm going to take Ray Sanders off your hands, Pittsburgh. we're going to get... People are going to get pissed off because I traded Bartel. But I need players that are young. And Sanders is now immediately better than Siebert, which means I can also trade Siebert. Which is good, because all Siebert ever did was bitch. Nick Orange, not actually Orange. It's a bit of a miss. Oh, his name is almost Fats Domino. I almost had to sign him just for that reason. I am interested in, like, a decent backup catcher. But I've kind of already got one, so... Or an interesting pitcher. Which Ralph Tisco is not. Miller's a really good catcher and base stealer. Yeah, I'll take him. And I'll just let him develop a bit in the minors. Traded. Okay. Yeah, our current team focus has shifted from win now to rebuilding. Oh, sorry, I've got to pull you off the DL. How did Mel Harder actually pitch? Because he was injured. Yeah, he's aging rapidly. But let's keep going. I'm a little distressed that Bob Feller seems to be flaming out at an early age. It's kind of sad, actually. Oh, no. I am not giving you Lou Boudreau. Nope. Boudreau is unavailable. You want to make an offer for someone else? I'll listen. Not for Boudreau. Hank Edwards, bro. So, best fielders, really? Ooh, Clyde Reed. Eno Slaughter was better than Hank Sauer. Okay, he was actually better than Hank Sauer. Fair enough. Jim Turner, reliever of the year. Again. Silver Sluggers. Hank Sauer. There he goes. George Wilson won Rookie of the Year. Yeah, no pitching there. It'd be super cool if Hank Sauer got, like, votes for MVP, but it's fine. Hall of Fame voting. I'm not saying I won't trade. I just won't trade Lou Boudreau. Preacher wrote, my change often, my change, and my change often, my change often, my change. You sure are, Preacher. You sure are. By war, Hank Bauer's like the 5th or 6th, which is still really good. But it's not, you know, that good. I gotta hope this is a big year. Because I got 2 first-rounders, and we need an immediate influx of talent in this system. Watch, it's going to be like the Mike Schmidt draft. No, Mike Schmidt wouldn't be drafted in the 40s. He'd be drafted in like the 50s. Maybe he'd be drafted in the 40s. No, Schmidt was famous in the 80s. What the hell am I talking about? He wasn't even born in the 40s. God. We'll probably get Eddie Matthews in the 50s for third baseman. Harmon Killebrew toward the end of the 40s, early 50s. If he's not already in the league. Brooks Robinson played in the 60s and 70s, so he'd start popping up eventually in the 50s, maybe. But yeah. Third base actually wasn't... Third base is historically a weak position in the Hall of Fame. It's because, like, when there are good third basemen, the voters just seem to not like them very much. I don't know why. Like, Ron Santo waited way too freaking long to get in the Hall of Fame. when he was demonstrably better than almost every other third baseman that had ever played the game. Eddie Matthews hit over 500 homers in a time when that was still a big deal. He didn't make the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. Chipper Jones just did this past year, and Chipper Jones was pretty good. But just very weird. Mel Harder had a setback. Another 9 months. Yeah, he did. He did. It's where you're getting the split already, that the AL's an offense league and the NL is not an offensive league. That's weird. That's a huge difference. So Stan Musial wins with a 379. And Andy Pafko wins with a 330. Like, Pafko was good, but he wasn't nearly as good as, say, Hank Sauer was. If Hank Sauer was in the National League, he would have been MVP, but with a bullet. Very intriguing. Archie Vaughan was third in OBP, or OPS. Huh. The Archie Vaughan guy, pretty good. I'm trying to think about who was really big this time of year. Well, let's take a look here. This is awful. Wow. If this is Alvin Dark was pretty decent for a while. Wow, Bilka went back in the draft and got worse. This is such a bad draft. And the best player is clearly Grady Hatton, and I'm not going to draft someone with no future. This is bad. Come on, guys. Damn. Alright, well, let's do Hall of Fame voting. Dale Alexander, I will cast a ballot for. No, I won't. What am I talking about? He's kind of meh. Earl Averill was an actual Hall of Famer in real life. He just wasn't as good in our time frame. Neil Brady, eh. Mickey Cochran, yes, please. Sorry about that, guys. My wife had a question, so that's why I kind of stopped talking for a bit. Mickey Cochran was pretty amazing, both in real life and in this season. Well over the mark for catchers. Just make it happen. Jimmy Dykes, yeah. Showboat Fisher, a lot of mediocre guys. Chick Hafey. He'd actually be a little worse than the average center fielder, but he's going to get voted anyway. There's not much I can do about that. 79 WAR for Pat Malone. That's pretty good. I'll give him a vote. Jakey May, eh. I'm surprised it's taken him this long. 3,000 hits isn't that easy. But to be fair, his overall record is somewhat subpar. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with this group. Bugger. Let's do it. 5 names on my Hall of Fame ballot. Yeah, that draft pool looks awful. Trade proposal, you say? You'll give me an admittedly pretty good left fielder for a pitcher I can't afford to give up. I can't do it. I can't make a move like that because one player's not going to win me the World Series. And this is good looking. This is looking like it's going to be a longer rebuild than I anticipated. Because the megastars, for whatever reason, aren't in these drafts. I'd be curious to see how the game handles 1947 when the Dodgers signed Jackie Robinson. If the game will just start putting the black players into the pool, or if you can start buying them from there, or how that works. Purchasing contracts. That came out awkwardly, for which I deeply apologize. Hank Sauer was third in RBI, too. That was a breakout year for him. Now we need to get him some partners. Some good ones. Yeah, like Alvin Dark was the best name there. And Alvin Dark was kind of a mediocre player. And we're kind of set at both third base and shortstop. And it looks like that's the part of this draft that I'm really irritated, by the way. Super irritated. Okay, Ted Kluszewski is a worthy pick. Bob Porterfield looks pretty good. Bobby W. Brown eventually became president, I think, of the American League. Stan Lapata's not bad. Dale Mitchell's not bad. The problem is that Ted Kluszewski is clearly the best player in this draft. And my pick is only number 4. I don't see him falling to me. Okay, let's do this the old-fashioned way. Let's just sort purely by potential and see what we've got in this draft. I can't look you dead in the eye and say Kluszewski's going to fall to me. You know, let's just sim the first pick. I bet the Cubs take him. They'd be stupid not to. The Giants might take Hatton. Yep. Damn, I called it. Porterfield is the best option remaining. I bet they take Porterfield. No, they took Dale Mitchell. Okay. Alright, so here are our choices. Porterfield. See, I think, and it makes sense for this era, I think a lot of where they're deriving pitcher rankings comes from their stamina. If Porterfield's control develops, he'd be a very good second-level pitcher, but he doesn't throw very hard, and he's a collegiate pitcher. Carl Erskine leans a little more in the other direction, that he's pure potential with really good stuff, but his control's not great. Alvin Dark's a good all-around hitter, and we need those. Now, I'm not saying I'd put him at shortstop. I might have him work on second base in the minor leagues. So far, Alvin Dark looks like a pretty obvious choice for number 1. Bobby Brown is way more polished. I don't need him now. I need someone in the future. Stan Lapata can't actually play catcher, even though he's actually a pretty decent hitter. I could move him to first, maybe. He actually can't play any position other than catcher right now. I'm going to take Alvin Dark, unless you think I should take someone else. No, you like him too. Okay. Alright. Any of the 45s and above are worth at least a look. Solly Hemus. George Zubernick. I keep coming back to Bob Porterfield. Now, here's my biggest problem with him. It's that for a pitcher who doesn't throw very hard, he's a ground ball pitcher. Or he's a fly ball pitcher, rather. He give up a lot of homers. Is 40 control worth it to put up with a possibly outstanding strikeout rate? I think it might be, unless DeFondy is an amazing hitter. He's decent. I'm going to go with Carl Erskine. I know Porterfield looks like the better pick, but I like my strikeouts. And this guy, for a soft tosser, he's a fly ball pitcher, and that's a really bad tendency. I will draft Carl Erskine. And then let's go to my next pick. Alright. I want someone who's a really solid power hitter. Wow. Why on earth would you ever have this guy pitch? Grab him now. Wally Post actually had a bunch of home runs in real life, so that makes sense. And now we'll look for a couple of safer pitchers. Like we got like really good control maybe. Or really good stuff. Nah, you're gonna get mostly your catchers and stuff. He's got decent movement, but I think we go ahead and auto draft the rest of this. We didn't get the super elite talents I was hoping for. We got good players, but we didn't get great players. But this is a year that we had to make big picks. And Alvin Dark was a great... If I could have had the player I wanted, which was Ted Kluszewski, I would have been absolutely thrilled. But this was kind of a bad draft here. Erskine, absolutely. Wally Post, I will happily sign you and make you an outfielder. Hudson Mealy. Is an inoffensive catcher. I don't need those. Don Lund is a pretty good center fielder who plays a bunch of other positions well and might hit home runs someday. So I'll go ahead and draft it. I'll go ahead and sign him to a deal. Lou Morton. Another pretty decent outfielder who would fill in nicely. I will take him too. William Behe, can't play catcher. Don Eggert, can't play third. Good stamina, literally nothing else. And then, yeah, we're getting into the garbage at that point. That was a good draft. Maybe not a great draft, but we got positions that we really needed. And I think we'll have Alvin Dark move to second. Because I don't want Wilson playing anywhere other than short. And I think Dark could probably handle second. In real life, he actually played third for most of his career. Erskine's going to need a lot of time. Like a year or two. But once he's gotten there... Okay, Wally Post, make yourself an outfielder. You are never pitching a single inning for me. Look, he's a 50 potential as an outfielder, and you thought I was going to make him a pitcher. Oh, dear. Continue with the Hall of Fame results. Neither Dark hasn't signed yet. I'm kind of surprised I gave him what he wanted. Or if maybe I wonder if maybe he's concerned about the fact that he's playing shortstop on a team that just had their Rookie of the Year win shortstop. Could also move Dark to first. I really don't want to, though. I'd really rather keep him in the middle of the infield where his defense will be more valuable. Why is Dark not signed? Oh, he did sign. I just totally missed it because he signed the same day. Yeah. He signed the same day. Maybe I will shift you to first. For now, let's shift you to second and see how you handle that position. He actually becomes a little more valuable. What if I did shift him to first? His defense is decent, but not great. I'm actually going to go ahead and have you work on second, though. And then we'll see where you're at. If you pick it up pretty quickly, then maybe we'll make you a second baseman. If you don't pick it up quickly, I'll make you a first baseman. I think that's fair. I didn't get to look at the results. Oh, Cochran, Hafey, and Malone all made it. That makes sense. I'm a little bit... I'm still struggling with how to deal with this draft. A lot that was good happened, but a lot that was bad happened too. McHenry should get in next season. Probably. We'll only have 3 additional third-round picks next year. I just don't know. I think that was the draft we needed. That's a draft that's going to lay the foundation for a little bit better Browns team in the future. I need to see what my owner goals are before I even think about any trades. But yeah, I'm not moving. I'm not letting Dark play short. He'll play second, or he'll play first. Barbecue, too hot to handle for Low Gianni. Well, that's your problem, not mine. A personal message. You increased my budget. That's pretty cool. And we'll go up to spring training, and then we'll make some decisions about who to have play in spring training. We needed a new right fielder, didn't we? And I never got one. I'll have to look at the minors for us. Dark is the kind of hitter... He's not going to lead the club, but he would be a good, like, 5th hitter. He's a heart-of-the-order guy. He's just not a number 3 or a number 4. And I've already got those. I've already got Boudreaux at the 3rd spot, and Sauer is cleanup. Sauer's turned out really good. Okay. So we got 26 men on the roster. Swanson, get your ass up there. How did you lose stuff? Oh, your potential got better. You had 65 stuff a little bit ago. Whatever. Okay. Carl Erskine is not a freaking reliever. I don't know what you're smoking. He's a starting pitcher. Ooh, Jim Greengrass didn't develop. Damn. I was kind of hoping that we get something positive from you, but you just kind of went right in the toilet. Yeah, your potential's almost evaporated. You still might see time in the majors just because my team's so bad, but... Alright, we need more outfielders to get auditions. Sauer's the only one guaranteed a spot. Bob Van Eman is not very good. I'm going to check free agency and see if there's an outfielder I can sign who's actually good at the position. Give me... batting ratings, no default. Because I'm just looking for a depth outfielder who can still handle the position, and he can't. Vince DiMaggio could. I could see him playing right field for us. Joseph McNamee? That's a weird combination of catching and short. Sure, I will happily sign you to a minor league deal. I think I will actually go ahead and sign Vince DiMaggio. Okay, so if he's promoted, then he gets a guaranteed deal. I guess that's fine. Because we just need depth in the outfield, and he can fill that role. Doc Kramer got a day-to-day injury the very first day, and I didn't have anyone sign up anything. Oh, I never got a new bench coach. Shit. Bench coach. Reputation. Phil Northrum, how would you get along with my players? Wilson and Sauer wouldn't like you. Bingham. Sauer wouldn't like you, but pretty much everyone else is would either like you or not really care. You skew heavily toward hitters. I just want someone that gets along with people. Is Wilson a disruptive dude too? I don't know. Who's my current manager in AAA? Maybe I make Bobby Pfeiffer. Let me go ahead and actually promote you to bench coach. How do you get along with people? Wow, are you divisive? But you're good developmentally. And to be honest, we kind of need that. And then I'll take on, like, no, I want you to play for AAA. Okay. Who did I take the manager from? Oh, from AA. We've got a proper minor league system now. All right. A personal message. How much money? Oh, I can just buy you outright for 10 grand. Done. $7 weeks for McLean. That's not ideal. And Harder's still injured. Oh, are you actually putting him in the lineup, in the rotation, Clyde Reed? Wow, you're going to make Swanson a closer? What is your obsession with making people closers all of a sudden? Turner's my closer. Personal message. We got Vince DiMaggio. I'll put you on St. Louis to play in spring training. Yeah, you can set all the lineups and stuff. If I didn't think it would get me fired, I would kind of wish for one more season of bad play. 3 days on a broken nose. That's pretty hardcore, mate. Yeah, just be out 3 days. What happened? Broke my nose. Probably like headbutting people. So, oh. I don't know why he's Jason Statham all of a sudden. Or no, Vinnie Jones. That would be a terrible Jason Statham impersonation. My impersonations aren't that good to begin with. Unless you Woody English. You weren't great, but you weren't bad either. I did not know that. The Indians did that too one year. Yeah, they did. In the 90s when we had... no, it was early... It might have been 2000. Because the Indians had Jim Thome, Roberto Alomar, Omar Vizquel, and Travis Fryman. And they all went to the All-Star game, I think. Or maybe it was that everyone but Thome won a Gold Glove. Now I don't remember. It's a real shame the Indians never won a World Series in the 90s. That was such a good decade for the Indians. So many great players. Not many in the Hall of Fame, but they might get there. Thome just got elected last year. Roberto Alomar got elected, but I don't think he went in with an Indians cap. I think he went in with an Orioles cap. In a just universe, Manny Ramirez would be in the Hall of Fame, but with people getting all butthurt about PEDs, it's not likely that Ramirez is going to make the Hall of Fame anytime soon. He's a really amazing right-handed hitter. Okay. Gil Hodges, delighted fans. You want me to stay respectable. No promises. I hate you, Cubs. I wanted Kluszewski so badly. Damn, the Giants have 3 in the top 10? Ooh, Minnie Minoso. I wonder if Jackie Robinson's in the Negro Leagues at this point. He should be. Oh, you can't afford him. How good is he anyway? He's that real good shit. I would take him in a heartbeat if they're going to be... See, I don't know how the game is going to work with integration that began in 47. But, that'll be cool. So let's talk about who goes back to the minors. Harold Sharp would seem an obvious play. But I already have only 8 pitchers. So it's gotta be a position player. And I think it's Al Kaiser. Who's not in all... I'm actually going to try to trade Al Kaiser. I keep wanting to call him Al Qaeda. Please don't put me on a list somewhere. Yeah, he's kind of garbage. At least Tucker's a good second baseman. You know what? I'll make the deal. And then hopefully... Yeah, that cleared up the problem. Quite handily. Why would I not play DiMaggio over Damari? Merkowitz, I would... he actually looks pretty solid too, though. I think it's actually going to be Merkowitz to start, and then DiMaggio filling in. Right, okay. Pitching staff. No, Swanson is most definitely not going to be a reliever. Yeah, you are a starter, Swanson. Turner will be the stopper until his arm falls off. And you'll be long relief too, Jenkins. And people don't like him very much. I would cut him if I had... Do I have a pitcher even remotely interesting who could fill this void? Yeah, McCaskey needs to work on his control, but if he does, he's the future. So future it up, mate. Yeah, I mean, I'll get rid of Jenkins at some point. But let's clear the things. Okay. Sears, obvious starting catcher. Please sort by position. Thank you kindly. Sanders is the best first baseman by a pretty decent margin. He's the best defender. He's the best hitter. Sanders will start at first. Tresh will back up at catcher, and he'll play some defense when needed. And McQuinn will back up at first, and he'll be my number one pinch hitter. Mavis is the only clearly decent all-around player of the bunch. But Adkins will be a backup and a defensive sub. Boudreaux, Hart. Actually, I'll put Hart here, and then Adkins will be the other backup at third. Jorge Wilson. I know what I didn't include on my ratings page. I didn't include overall and potential, which for some reason aren't on the ratings page. Batting ratings, yes. Okay. Vaughn will back up just because I need someone there, but Vaughn is most definitely going to be our pinch running dude. Bauzo will play left. Oh, he was awful in left last season, though. Like, really bad. But he was also so good offensively. He gave us a spark offensively we didn't have. I don't think I can afford to not play him, start him in left. Sauer in center. Mirkowitz, but DiMaggio will be the number one backup for both positions. Kramer in center. Then Damari here. And you'll be my number one pinch hitter. Adkins will be a pretty decent pinch runner. And Adkins will also be a pinch hitter. Let me just arrange the lineup the way I want it. Okay, who's got the best eye on the team? Bauza. But Bauza also doesn't hit for contact, which makes him problematic as a leadoff hitter. Mirkowitz, you'll be my leadoff guy. Alright, purely by contact. We don't have a lot of contact hitters. Do I bat Sanders second? and maybe bat Wilson like 5th or 6th. He's still got home runs to grow into. Yeah, let's actually hit our Sanders first, second, then Boudreaux, then Sauer, then Wilson, then Bauza, then Sears, then Mavis will bat last. We should have a lot of thump this year. A lot of it. Paste that depth chart. Then paste the lineup. Then paste the other team. No. I will put DiMaggio in also as a defensive replacement for Bauza. And with that, I think we might end the episode here because this episode ran long with us trying to decide what draft picks to make. And I think it makes sense to just give it a pause now and then next episode go in and play the season. So I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, please remember to like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you thought of our draft. Alvin Dark, I'm hoping, will be a solid addition to our team in the future, as will Carl Erskine. But we'll have to see